Good evening, good evening. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, it's official. Keiji Muto's final retirement match is in the books. Wow. I don't know what to say. It's so surreal, and I have to say I got kind of emotional watching that match, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it. So this was the Keiji Muto Grand Final Pro Wrestling Last Love Holdout show. I finally got around to watching it. Presented by Abima and Pro Wrestling Noah. And I have to say, it was an awesome show. What a way to go out with a bang. Not just the main event, but just the rest of the matches as well. Like, this was a phenomenal show. And there were some matches that I really enjoyed the mess out of. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. But first, I want to remind everybody to be sure to check out the link to Game Beauty in the description for a really cool lineup of video game themed makeup and cosmetic products. And if you see something you like, want to make a purchase, be sure to use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, and you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to put that to good use. Anyway, we had, I believe, 11 matches for this show, and I have to say, it was insane. It was really, really insane, but I definitely enjoyed the show. Let's get to the review. So, we first started off with a tag team match, which technically the first three matches were pre-show matches, but still, they were still great matches. First up, we had the tag team match between Masa, Kitamiya, and Daiki Inaba on one team, taking on the team of Yoshiki Inamura and Yasutaka Yano. To be honest, even though I kind of figured that Masa, Kitamiya, and Daiki Inaba were going to win, it didn't seem so much like a one-sided match, at least to me. It didn't seem so like a one-sided match. But overall, it was a great opening match. I definitely enjoyed it. Masa Kitamiya gets the victory after hitting Yasutaka Yano with a Saito suplex. Pretty devastating Saito suplex as well. But picks up the victory for his team. Good opening match, for the most part. Good opening match. Next up, had the ladies in action. The ladies of TJPW. We had an 8-woman tag team match. So on one side, it was interesting how they had the team split. So on one side, we had the team of the magical girl Yuka Sakazaki, the pink striker Miyu Yamashita, the big kaiju Shoko Nakajima, and the white dragon Rika Tatsumi, taking on the popping sugar rabbit Mizuki, the cutest in the world Maki Itoh, Miyu Watanabe, and the Yuki Arai. And I have to say, this was a great match. Definitely was happy to see the ladies showcased. Would have been nice if it wasn't in the pre-show, but it is what it is. There was a lot of matches. They were all good. But the ladies looked great, were showcased well in this match, and I just felt it was really interesting as you had a lot, of the ladies going up against their partners, that were on the other side, like the Yuka Sakazaki going up against Mizuki, Miyu Yamashita going up against Maki Itoh, Rika Tatsumi going up against Miyu Watanabe, things like that. So I thought it was pretty intriguing that they did the match this way. But overall, it was a great match. Really, really great match. Yuka Sakazaki gets the victory for her team after hitting Yuki Arai with a Magical Girl 450 splash. She usually hits a regular Magical Girl splash, but nowadays she will do that Magical Girl 450 splash at the right moment. At the right moment. Which she did at this show. So, Yuka Sakazaki, Miyu Yamashita, Shoko Nakajima, Rika Tatsumi pick up the victory. Great match. I always enjoy watching the ladies of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Good stuff. Okay, next up, this was the final pre-show match. This was a 6-man tag. This was the team of Sugiura-gun's Takashi Sugiura and Satoshi Kojima, along with Timothy Thatcher, going up against the good-looking guys made up of Jake Lee, Jack Morris, and Anthony Greene. I have to say, the way this turned out was not how I thought it would. It was a decent match, but I was kind of shocked at the outcome of this match. So Jake Lee ends up hitting Timothy Thatcher with pretty much like a haluva kick and got the 1-2-3, pinning Timothy Thatcher. Like, I was really shocked. I honestly thought Sugiura-gun and Thatcher were going to win, and I believe Jake Lee, Jack Morris, and Anthony Greene, especially Jake Lee, they've been kind of on a roll lately. So, yeah, just kind of surprised me. But Jake Lee picks up the victory for the good-looking guys. And that concludes the pre-show. And then they took a break to, sanitize and, all that. And then the main card, or at least the next stage, started off with a 10-man tag. Yes, 10-man tag. We had the team of Stinger, made up of Yoshinari, Ogawa, Hayata, and Chris Ridgway, Ita and Dega, taking on the team of Atsushi Kotoge, Yohei, Seki Yoshioka, Alejandro, and Junta Miyawaki, which I was so happy to see Seki Yoshioka back in action. I know he had just recovered from injury, so it was really good to see him in action. That dude is insane in the ring. But talent was very well stacked for this match. So, I mean, we had all sorts of chaos in this match, and it was very action-packed from start to finish. Chris Ridgway ends up picking up the victory for his team, for Stinger, as he was able to submit Junta Miyawaki with sort of like a crossface chicken wing variation submission. The weird thing about it was that Chris Ridgway got attacked by pretty much his teammates after the match, which Ita and Dega kind of got in on that, which that was kind of weird. That was really kind of weird. So I don't know what's really going on from there, but that was quite an interesting turn of events after that match, despite the winning team, the attack afterwards. It was kind of interesting. I don't really know the background of that, but thought it was interesting. But Stinger, Ita, and Dega picked up the victory in this 10-man tag. Okay, next up, you had a lot of folks in this next match from the DDT promotion. You had another tag team match. This time it was a 8-man tag. You had the 37 Kamina, made up of Mao, Shunma Katsumara, Yuki Ueno, and Toi Kojima, taking on the team of Tetsuya Endo, Hideki Okatani, Yuya Kuroku, and Takeshi Masada. This was definitely up there as at least top 3 matches on this card. I mean, just a lot of high flying, a lot of offense from both teams. It was really, really cool from start to finish. I even like the triple dives, this triple springboard, moonsault, and tope con heroes. Those were really cool. But Yuki Ueno ends up getting the victory, pinning Takeshi Masada after hitting looked like a somersault DDT. He legit. It was either like a somersault DDT or like a variation of John Morrison's Moonlight Drive, just in a forward flipping motion with the opponent. I thought it was really cool. That was a sick finish. Just the landing and the torque on the flip. Really sick finish. I've never seen that before. But I love that finisher. And just that whole match was phenomenal. Easily in my top 3. Easily my top 3. But Yuki Ueno picks up the victory for the 37 Kamina team. Okay, next up, you had a 6-man tag where you had the Z-Brats representing Dragon Gate. Shun Skywalker, Kai, and Diamante taking on the team of Naomichi Marufuji, Ohio de Dr. Wagner Jr., and one of my favorites, Ninja Mac. Oh man, another match that I enjoyed quite a bit. Shun Skywalker, I've gotten a chance to see live through DPW twice. But definitely liked the folks in this match. Of course, Ninja Mac. I'm very, very big fan of Ninja Mac. Really, just after seeing him for the first time, a couple of months ago, I've just really fallen in love with Ninja Mac. Ninja Mac, that dude is insanely good. Oh man. I would love for DPW to book Ninja Mac. Oh, that would be such a good show. I would love to see Ninja Mac in DPW. At least once, if possible. So, I don't know if DPW will watch this, but y'all should book Ninja Mac. Anyway, great match overall. Dr. Wagner Jr. Picks up the victory, pinning Kai after hitting a BME. Best moonsault ever. Christopher Daniels would be proud. But great match. Ninja Mac on the winning side once again. Why am I not surprised? But anyway, great match. Alright, next up we had a 6-man tag. This was another good one. This was a really good one. We had the team of Kento Miyahara, Suwama, and Yuma Aoyagi taking on the team of Kongo, represented Kenoa, Katsuhiko Nakajima, and Manobu Soya. This was a very action-packed, hard-hitting match. Back and forth. I felt like Kento Miyahara took a lot of punishment in this match, and it was good to see Suwama, but this was pretty much Kongo versus the folks of All Japan Pro Wrestling, so I thought that was pretty cool. But very hard-hitting, back and forth, and Kenoa ends up picking up the victory, pinning Yuma Aoyagi after hitting a diving double foot stomp. But it was good to see Suwama again. I haven't seen Suwama in a hot minute, so it was really good to see him again. But this was a very great match. But Kongo reigns supreme. Alright, next up we had a tag team match. This was also Nosawa Rungai's retirement match. But the match was Bullet Club's Taiji Ishimori and Gato taking on Tokyo Gurentai, made up of Nosawa Rungai and Mazada. My only thing with this match is I felt like it was too short. I felt like this match was way too short. It's like I was sitting there watching and maybe blinked a few times before realizing Taiji Ishimori hits Nosawa-Rungai with a bloody cross, which he was like, finish me off, sort of, segment. But yeah, and we got to remember Taiji Ishimori has had a career in Pro Wrestling Noah as well, so familiar territory for him. But he puts the nail in the coffin, hitting the bloody cross on Nosawa-Rungai to pick up the victory for the Bullet Club. And Nosawa-Rungai, that was his retirement match. So I wish him well. Whatever he's to do next, wish him well. Okay, and then our final 3 matches were all singles matches. Had champion versus champion. We had a singles match of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi taking on the GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion Amakusa. One of my top 3 matches of the card. Definitely. Definitely back and forth. Really could have gone either way, and I was really pulling for Amakusa. But the ticking time bomb would not be denied. There's a lot of back and forth. But Hiromu Takahashi puts away Amakusa with a time bomb too to pick up the victory. They shook hands afterwards, and check this out. Not only does Hiromu Takahashi want a rematch with Amakusa, he also offered Amakusa to join LIJ. He offered for him to join Los Ingobernables de Japón. Interesting. How would y'all feel about Amakusa representing LIJ in Pro Wrestling Noah? Hey, something to think about. Maybe LIJ expands. Why not? Why not? Something to think about, y'all. Something to think about. But great match. And then next up, had another champion versus champion, as we had a singles match between the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada taking on the GHC Heavyweight Champion Kaito Kiyomiya. And these two definitely let it all out in this match. And it was hard hitting, it was brutal, and both were wrestling for keeps. And when the time came, Okada laid the smackdown on Kiyomiya. Not only did he hit a Rainmaker, he went for the cover, 1-2, pulled his head up, hit him with a ripcord enziguri, then an Emerald Frozen, and then a second Rainmaker to put away Kaito Kiyomiya. And Okada, whoo, man. He didn't want to just end that match. He wanted to brutalize Kaito Kiyomiya. That's crazy. It's really, really crazy. But, I mean, the hype, the build-up to that match definitely showed and paid off in this match. So, I wouldn't mind seeing them go at it again, personally. But, whew, that was one heck of a match. hard hitting. And then the main event came down to singles match. Keiji Muto in his retirement match taking on the leader of LIJ, Tetsuya Naito. Now, this definitely was a pretty long match for the Great Muta. This was definitely a final endurance run for Keiji Muto / the Great Muta. He was wrestling as Keiji Muto. But I gotta give him credit. He hung with Tetsuya Naito, did his thing. It was back and forth. He teased the moonsault, but you know what? I keep it real. I'm glad he didn't do it. I'm glad he didn't do it. I'm actually glad he didn't do it. You gotta remember, Keiji Muto's a 60-year-old man. And, you know, the knees probably, you know, wouldn't allow him to do it. Not only that, we gotta remember, before this match, he was rehabbing and coming back from, what was it, a strained thigh muscle or torn thigh muscle or something like that. So yeah. But it was a great match. You know, Naito brought his A game. You know, Keiji Muto did his thing. A couple of dragon screws. A few figure 4 leg locks. You know, just really hung in there. You know, but you could tell he was getting gassed. You could tell he was getting gassed, which, you know, it's understandable. But when it came down to it, Tetsuya Naito was able to put away Keiji Muto with a Destino to pick up the 1-2-3. And there you have it. Keiji Muto's retirement match in the books. But we weren't quite done. No. Wasn't quite done just yet, as Keiji Muto got on the mic and called out Masahiro Chono, who was on commentary for this match, who was on special guest commentary for this match. Keiji Muto said, "I want one more match against you." That's right. I want one more match against you. So we got ourselves an encore match. Keiji Muto, Masahiro Chono. Masahiro Chono, somebody that I watched quite a lot, especially through WCW. Of course, you know, he was with the NWO and, you know, helped recruit Keiji Muto into the NWO when he was the Great Muta. They've also wrestled each other quite a bit in Japan, so very familiar. Now, they had their final wrestling match, and, you know, it was a nice little encore. And, you know, Masahiro Chono can still move a little bit. He can still move a little bit. Oh man, that was a really cool segment. And he actually locked in the STF, his finishing STF, made Keiji Muto tap out. But of course, it was all cool. You know, showed a lot of respect for each other. It was all cool. But yeah, so that was how Keiji Muto went out with a bang, made his final walk up the ramp, one more final pose. But man, I have to admit, I definitely got emotional during that. But wow. I'm really gonna miss Keiji Muto. You know, I watched him as, you know, the Great Muta and as Keiji Muto for a long time. You know, especially growing up as a kid. And it's really surreal that, you know, he's retired now, and I know that doesn't mean that, you know, he's gone from the wrestling business. Like I said, I'm sure he's gonna still be training folks and, you know, being a part of the business in some way, shape, or form. Just retiring from in-ring competition, you know. But yeah, I just and the thing that really just stands out to me is I got a chance to meet the guy. I got a chance to meet him. Check this out, y'all. This was WrestleCade 2019. I got a chance to meet Keiji Muto. I mean, look at that. Even just shaking his hand was an honor and a privilege. And then this was my favorite one. Me doing the prepping for the misspit. And man, just... It was such an honor and a privilege meeting who I would say is my GOAT of professional wrestlers. Like, the Great Muta versus Sting, one of my all-time favorite rivalries in pro wrestling. And just, I remember when they announced at WrestleCade, one of the first announcements at the beginning of 2019 was the Great Muta for WrestleCade. I would have never imagined in my life that I would get a chance to meet Keiji Muto, the man behind the Great Muta. And I tell you, just meeting him in person, like, it was like a dream come true. It was such a dream come true. Like, I was a little bit nervous. I was a tiny bit nervous. Not as nervous as I was when I met Gail Kim, but I was a little bit nervous. But then, you know, I gathered myself and I was just like, and I shook his hand, you know, and just, it was like, wow, I'm shaking Keiji Muto's hand. Like, we're posing together for a picture. He's doing this, you know, I'm doing the cutthroat, just, oh man. Like, and just to get an opportunity to meet him in person and really tell him how much he meant to me, how greatly he entertained me as a young kid, growing up a professional wrestling fan. Like, and then having the opportunity to see his final match. Not only his final match as the Great Muta, but his final match is Keiji Muto, his real self. The man has had one heck of a career. One heck of a career. Like, it is not going to be the same. It is not going to be the same without him performing in ring. But you know what? 60 years old, he can retire, you know, healthy. He can spend time with his family. You know, he can train whoever he wants to train. And, you know, who knows what's next for him. But I think he should definitely take all the time in the world that he wants. He's earned it. He deserves it. And just do his thing. Be with family, whatever he wants to do. And just enjoy himself, you know? I mean, dude is 60 years old. He's been wrestling since, like, what, 83, 84? So, I mean, he's put in a lot of years. A lot of years. So, I tell you, just... Man, he's had quite a career. Shall I do the rundown? Let's do the rundown of titles. The rundown of titles. And I'm using Wikipedia. Yes, I know. Shut up. All Japan Pro Wrestling. He's a one-time F1 Tag Team Champion. 3-time Triple Crown Heavyweight Champion. 5-time World Tag Team Champion. Was a Akiho Yoshizawa Cup winner. Which is weird, being that that's a adult actress. Wow. Champion Carnival Giant Baba 6-Man Cup. 3-time World's Strongest Tag Determination League participant. In Championship Wrestling from Florida, is an NWA Florida Heavyweight Champion. Continental Wrestling Federation, was an NWA Southeastern United States Junior Heavyweight Champion. Jim Crockett Promotions / World Championship Wrestling. He was a NWA World Television Champion, a WCW Tag Team Champion, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Was a 4-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, a 6-time IWGP Tag Team Champion, NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Greatest 18 Champion, won the G1 Climax in 95, won the Super Grade Tag League / G1 Tag League in 93, 94, G1 Tag League in 97, 98, 99. Whew. In Pro Wrestling Noah, GHC Heavyweight Champion, GHC Tag Team Champion, and TNA Wrestling Global Impact Tournament, participated with Team International. World Wrestling Council, he was a WWC Puerto Rico Heavyweight Champion, WWC World Television Champion. Wrestle One, his promotion. Wrestle One Champion, F1 Tag Team Champion as well. And yeah, that's what they have listed. Quite a career. And I know a lot of those were championships and such, you know, but quite a career. And he's participated in a lot of tournaments and, you know, just that's a lot. It's a lot. But as of February 21st of 2020, 23, we say farewell to the in-ring pro wrestling career of Keiji Muto. And I just want to say, once again, thank you so much for many, many, many years of entertainment. It was an honor and a privilege to meet the great Muto, Keiji Muto. I mean, met Keiji Muto, but I've seen him wrestle as the great Muto. But it was an honor and a privilege meeting him, a dream come true. He is my GOAT of professional wrestlers. And just the many years of shining wizards, the many years of flashing elbows, figure four leg locks, Muto locks, fork stabs, moonsaults, mist spits, cutthroats, two sweets. Oh man. The Muto scale. Man. Can't believe it's come down to this. But everybody eventually retires, right? But what a show. What a show for him to have his final retirement match. Great show overall. And I wish for the best for Keiji Muto or whatever he decides to do next in his life. Like I said, I hope he gets some well time spent doing his thing, spend time with his family. And like I said, what I think he may end up doing is, continue to be a trainer. Maybe he'll do some commentary. We'll see. We'll see. But that's all that I have. Don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty. And like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what y'all thought about the show. Great Muto, Keiji Muto's final match. What did you think about the card? What did you think about the matches? And what are some of your favorite Keiji Muto or the Great Muto, whichever? What are some of your favorite moments, rivalries, matches? Just share with me what your thoughts of on Keiji Muto. And share some of your favorite moments as well. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. And I say sayonara. We'll catch you next time. Stay safe. Happy wrestling.